In Francis Ford Coppola's classic, Apocalypse Now, the opening sequence was used to establish Willard's character and his mindset before his long journey up the Mekong River. In Apocalypse Now, the opening sequence is used to create a dark, psychedelic-like tone. This tone will carry through the rest of the movie. This is helped created by the use of cinematography, sound design, lighting, and film editing to create this montage sequence. This first shot of the jungle shows the juxtaposition between the beauty of the jungle and the utter destruction that will soon follow. These contrasts are carried through the rest of the movie, often using lighting techniques to bring lights to the forefront of the faces of the actors while using shadows in the background. These contrasts between destruction and beauty, light and dark, are one of the main themes throughout this movie.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
The use of diegetic sound is used to mix the sounds of helicopters with the background music of the Doors playing the end. Then later, the sound of helicopters is mixed with the sound of the ceiling fan, helping to convey the hallucinatory state like between audio and visual hallucinations being displayed on screen. These help to give the viewer a sense of tripping. In this scene, we can see how framing is used to convey confusion to the audience. By displaying Willard's portrait upside down, juxtaposed next to an anger-wrought face, we see framing is used side by side. This is also used with dissolving edits that show the flames of destruction that were shown earlier in the scene of the jungle being displayed behind Willard's face. The stream of consciousness-like state is portrayed over and over again in this scene, with different images coming and going in and out of frame. The use of dissolving edits continues throughout this scene. As we can see here, the shots of fire are still being displayed behind Willard's head. Also, we can see light images of the jungle coming and going. This helps to give the viewer a sense of confusion, as we're not really sure what we're seeing. Is this a stream of consciousness? Is this a vision? Is this an acid-like trip? It's really up to the viewer to decide. Its emotional weight is carried through Willard's eyes, helping us give a better perception of who he is and where he might be going. The music of the Doors, The End, is used throughout this entire opening sequence. The irony being the song is called The End, and it's the beginning of the movie. We see many ironic shots throughout this scene, where the lyrics correspond directly to what we're seeing on screen, yet very loosely, and adds to the psychedelic-like nature that's conveyed throughout this entire montage. The fan is a perfect example of diegetic sound being used to convey this auditory hallucinatory-like state, where the fan can be heard even before coming into frame. The fan, often mixing with the chopping sound of helicopters, is blended seamlessly. The sounds from the fan are then blended back into the sounds of a helicopter. As it gets louder and louder, we start to recognize that this is actually real and that the helicopter is likely outside the window being displayed. This helps bring awareness to the audience that the movie might be going in a more linear direction. Here, we can see Willard starting to stare out the window, seeing that the helicopter is possibly there and that he may have a mission to accomplish. In this early montage, we see how drugs have affected the 1960s and 70s counterculture revolution. This is present in Vietnam, and we can see this theme being carried later in the movie, when Private Lance takes LSD while traveling up the Mekong River. This dark psychedelic tone is one of the major themes in the movie.